Greetings, dear precious spirit soul, divine being that you are. All right, my darlings. Okay. Topic. Trying to find the right wording for this. Empowerment is important. Empowerment is important. And what that means is, right now, whether you know it or not, there is a war. There's war going on, conflict, violence, struggles, children being exploited and hurt and raped and murdered, adults, women, little boys, men, war, fighting. Wait a minute. All of this, and we've been so conditioned and programmed to believe with our his story books and the history of everything, and saying that we're warlike, we're naturally warlike. Look what we have done. No, that's not our true divine nature at all. That is the mind. That is the mind program. That is the conditioning. That is constantly telling us and testing us in schools and situations, whether it's true or false, multiple choice, blah, 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 which is all systematic programming to have, for people, humanity, to have a one focused consciousness that has been dictated to them by someone else. And each of us, it could be family members, it's religious members, government members, medical members, religion members. I mean, it could be anybody, because you see, really, people who are evil intent. And what that means is to drain the resources, the life force, the energy from others. Win-lose, gambling, so to speak. And how do we not win the war? Forget the war. And because this conflict is the system that is set up for us to war on ourselves, to abuse ourselves, to hate our family members, to hate our neighbors, to hate people whose skin is a different color, or who have a different, they're male or female. Is it, and when you get everybody interfering always and telling you what to eat and what you can drink and what you need to wear and what your body needs to look at, and where you need to live, you have all of this. What it does is it splinters us, it fragments us, because we're not based on what's most important. What we need to do in order to really empower ourselves and transcend this lie of who and what we are, and to restore ourselves to who we are now and eternally, because we are eternal. And what that means is we need to bond together, to acknowledge and recognize our unity. And that does not mean not respecting nations or groups of people, or it's not lack of respect. It's you got to get to the basic, back to the basics. And the basics that we are is we're both dependent and independent. We need each other and we don't. It's always both, and transcend and none of the above and beyond. And by keeping us fighting and hating each other, and then having whatever media it is there to be convincing us that others want to hurt us and harm us and stop us, other people or humans, our neighbors, our friends, our people from another country, a different color or a different anything. And when you really look at who we really are, we have everything in common, and we also have our differences, which are fabulous. In fact, I had picked up a old Reader's Digest of probably about in the probably the late 1920s or maybe early 1930s. And we see how beautiful all the countries were, and the clothes that people wore, and the traditions that they had. And because I've been fortunate enough to travel all over the world because I've wanted to, and to meet people and to be in different cultures and to experience from their point of view or their consciousness and awareness. And that I found, even when I was living in Los Angeles for a while, and I was even in a very multicultural area of Culver City and West LA, and in there, and I'd walk around. I get up 4 a.m. sometimes, take walks, go to the coffee shop, whatever it may be. But I was always safe, and I was always secure, and I was always and I found that when I would talk to people, it wouldn't matter what their religion was, it wouldn't matter their background, basically right at the heart of the matter, they just wanted to have a simple, happy life and have their children and be healthy and secure, and their loved ones and their family members. And what's happened is, by getting us so far away from who we are and what's really important, then there's so much unhappiness and so much competition and so much hatred that's going on, and resentment and anger. And then when people watch television or television programs, very few, there's so many people, they live by the television or maybe even the internet, but in being this input constantly, and it's terrifying people. And what happens is, and causing us to be afraid of everyone and everything. And the key is always empowerment. And how can we help each other? Now, I have friends who are the editors and owner of Lotus magazine, and they are in Magella, I can't pronounce the word, but it's right above Paradise, the town south of Shasta here, that got completely obliterated within minutes, and people burning alive in their cars and their homes and everything. It was not a natural fire, not at all. And what happens is, when we get caught up, and I will tell you about that, they've got a GoFundMe, because there's so many wonderful people in that area who lost their businesses, and they lost their teaching centers, and they lost all their good work. And Lotus is doing a GoFundMe to help these people get back on their feet again, to do their work and to make their contributions. So if you can, go find Lotus Guide and you go to the GoFundMe, and whatever you can do, that would help these people a lot. So, and I know there's a lot going on like that. But when we get over the cult of personalities, and what is amazing to me is when you go out there and somebody, oh, I hate them, and look what they're doing, and they're disrespectful, golly sake, President Trump, or they're disrespectful of people who are trying to end child trafficking, or they joke about that on media and make terrible jokes about, or they're people that are attacking people that they know of, who are telling them about health practices. I saw one of my family members who had gone through chemo, who never even looked at what was actually the cause of the cancer. Oh no, we'll treat the symptoms, but the symptoms are telling you of something else, and you get rid of the symptoms, the problem is going to continue. That's just the way it is. And if we're going to help each other, we have to get over this cult of personality. And I'm not into personalities, no matter who they are. I'm into issues. And what these issues are really important are, it's the aluminum that we have so much in our world that is drawing everything out. And who's bringing it here? Who's putting it here? How many restaurants are cooking in aluminum pots? Aluminum and aluminum makes then the brain and the body susceptible to electronics and what those are doing. And what we need to do, because see, I'm even hesitant about sending information to people I know and love, because they'll go, oh, well, you're one of these people and you're one of those people. No, I'm not. I'm one of your people. And when you're looking to see what is the cause of depowerment, and the word depower is not even included in their dictionary because they don't want you to know it's existing. It's taking your power away by giving our power to stupidity, to celebrities, to personalities that we're hating or loving or no. This is where we need to band together to get beyond this media programming, beyond educational program, beyond government programming, beyond business, money, and banking and religion programming. And it's very amazing. It's the Abrahamic religions that cause all the trouble because they're based on my God hates your God, or my God says we're the people and you're vermin and we're going to kill you. Well, you know what? Your God isn't my God. Are you serious? Oh, well, my God says so. It means it for you. Really? What a lame idea. It's a concept. It's an idea. And it's separating, divide and conquer. As if we could get over our desire to be right and the fear to be wrong. Our desire to make a point and prove somebody else is wrong and we're right. You've got to get over that. Do you want to be right or happy? Do you want to be right or do you want to live in harmony and abundance and prosperity? There was a king in India and his name was Ashok. And he had a huge area that was land that he, in that area, and he invited the top craftspeople and artists and artisans and people into his realm and said, you just give me 10% off the top of whatever you make. I will protect you. I will keep everything beautiful. I will have roads and water and all of this. And you know, under his work, because he was working for them, that was not that the people were just working for him. He was working for the people, truly. And what happened was everybody in his realm were so wealthy, they ate off 24-karat gold plates of whatever food they had. They were abundant in every way. And what happens is with all of the entities or energies that want us to stay ignorant of who we are, keep us fighting, keep us in trivia, keeping of these little talk shows on the TV that are so petty, so nasty, so filthy, so discouraging, so attacking, and it's getting a lot of feeble-minded people who are so easily swayed and so easily controlled that have no idea what's going on, and it's causing us to become, what would you say, like a flesh-eating virus. And a walking flesh-eating virus. So how do we end that disease, dis-ease, loss of comfort? We've got to each take a stand and be who we are and do our own research, and whatever that research to even look into what we don't want to look into or find out what other people are saying or what other people are doing. But ultimately, you get right back to where you are in your own house, in your own body, in that own temple of the living God, and that you are an eternal being, and all is possible for you and everyone. And so how we come together as family is to get to the heart of the matter and to take a look at separating ourselves, not from ourselves and each other, but from all the lies, all the royals, all the elitists, all the, what do you call it? All of the superiors, because you're an inferior. No, what that means is when you right where you are, know and be who you are already living in the spiritual realm. And your world is magnificent. And then everyone you touch and what you do is a gift, is a be moreing, because I don't say be less, you bless you, be less you. It's a be moreing, to be more of you and more of each other. Now is the time to bring forth our heart, our compassion, our consciousness, not to bring violence and war and this into our lives, but to center, have our meditation, be who we are, and wherever we are, be powerful.
Good. That was good.